So Ron Baldwin, and did an MA in International History. Okay, well, I retired in 2018, having spent 28 years with NATS, the air traffic control provider. And before that, 12 years with the coal boards, and I'm an accountant, but never a particularly conventional accountant. I always did different things. And as I got to the end of the career, I was thinking, what can I do to sort of keep my brain active? And my wife is disabled. She had a stroke a few years ago, so it needed to be something that was at home. And the MA, distance learning, was absolutely ideal because I could combine that with being with her and caring for her. And I'd always had a passion for history, so I looked around, and the International History course at Staffs was the best and the one that suited me best. The subjects were many and varied. International history, the first subject we looked at was actually a guy who went and colonised Australia in the 1860s. And I thought, what on earth is this about? Well, I didn't think I signed up for this, but it was fascinating. And I read extra chapters in the book, despite what I needed to do, and did my first essay on that as well. Because it was just, and that's why I think I'd done the course. Because I wanted something that would sort of stretch me out. It wasn't just bits of history I knew about. It was other things that I didn't know anything about, but when you do it, you think, well, that's quite nice, quite fascinating. The other thing about distance learning is you've got an awful lot of people there from different backgrounds in different countries. There's guys in Toronto, Egypt, Japan, all over the place, and with different cultural backgrounds. So when you're posting your answers, I use very sort of Western, Eurocentric, conventional sort of history. You get them challenging you, but in a positive way, saying, what about this answer? And you think, I hadn't thought about that, because you don't really learn your history that way. So it wasn't just the subject, it's the way we learned it that was fascinating as well. Also, when you think about studying, having a broad age range also helps, because some of the things we ended up doing in the history course weren't history to me. They were current affairs 30, 40 years ago. So in some ways it's quite strange, but it gives you've got a different perspective because you lived through it that other people haven't. So it's part of that diversity idea that I think works pretty well. As I was coming to the end of the dissertation, you think, what am I going to do next? And there was an option to sort of do another MA. Weren't the subjects there that interested me. And I had conversations with some of the tutors, and they said, well, you can do a PhD with us. So it's going to be tough, it's going to be a challenge. I need to refine what I'm going to do. I had some conversations with tutors about it, but I'm quite excited about setting myself another challenge and seeing what I can achieve out of that.